Do you play a guitar or own a guitar? Electric, acoustic, resophonic, it don't matter. Do you have one or own one or play one like that? You need to watch this video, my friend. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back again, folks. I am Randy Schartiger, and I'm coming at you live from the house that never sleeps. It probably won't be live when you see it, though. It'll probably be a video. Got a real exciting thing to show you guys today. I think you are going to love when you see it. First, let me bring the camera over here and show you something before I show you the surprise. And then I'll show you the surprise. Hold on. I just got through making a new bone nut for this guitar. It's a Gibson Dove, a 1970 Gibson Dove. And I made a new nut for it. If I can get this to happen now. And of course it won't do it now. You know how your strings always hang up in the nut right here when you're tuning? And sometimes you can bend a string and it'll pop up here at the nut and go out of tune. Okay, I'm going to show you a way to solve that permanently. This little device here is called a string Butler. You can have a good look at it. I'll show you how it works. A very well thought out device. Okay, if you have a guitar and your strings are hanging up in the nut all the time, this little jewel goes right there. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put it there because the first and sixth strings are not angled very much. But look at the second, third, fourth, and fifth, how they go out towards the peg head, the pegs. Okay, and the truss rod cover is going to be in the way. So I'm going to turn it upside down. I don't guess either way it would be upside down. I'm going to mount it right here. And hold on, I'll show you how we're going to do that. Now, the way this goes on here is really very simple. Wow, is that loose? No, it wasn't on it. Where was I? No, it was that loose. These don't need to be very tight though, because tighten them too tight, you crack your finish. So how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are all doing well, and ladies, and all of you. Okay. The string Butler. Now, you can install it, like I said, down here if you want. In this case, the truss rod cover would be in the way. But I don't really need it here because these strings are running pretty much straight from the nut. Okay? You dig it? There we go. It is installed. Now I've got to put the nuts back on. Now you want to get this centered up as nearly as center as you can. Like I say, I could put it down here if all six strings needed it. I'd have to do something about it sitting on top of the truss rod cover, but I don't need it down here. I need it on these four strings. So you just want to eyeball it, get it, you know, as center as you possibly can. And you know what, that's as tight as I'm going to tighten these, just by hand like that. Okay, we want our first strings, actually our third string and fourth, to come up through there like that. Very easily to install. Now I'm going to push that over, center it up. I'm looking at the tip of it here in line with the screw of the truss rod cover. I'm also looking at this inlay right here too. centering it as near as possible. I think it looks pretty good. Now, if you get a guitar that won't fit in the pegs won't fit in those grooves, if you really want to install this, there are two tiny screw holes right there and there. If you want to drill, you know, wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but you know, it's an option. If it won't fit any other way, it is an option. Now this string I want to run in that roller. Still wind your strings down toward the peg just like you always would before. Second string back in place. Oops! Oh man. This is a very unique device. Like I say, I'll put a link to the website in the section below, description below. Anyone that's interested in purchasing this, you can go check it out on the website. And there you go. This is the same guitar I worked on a while back. You may remember. Set it up. I don't remember what all I did to it. Alright, fine tune. And there we are. Now if you'll notice, look how straight the strings are now, where they're coming out of the nut. They're not coming out and being jerked off to one side or the other. They come right straight out of the nut. Paul Reed Smith guitars are like that. Crimson makes guitars like that, and I've seen a bunch of other brands, and it's a good way to stop your strings from hanging up in the nut like they always do. We talked about it before. You're almost in tune, and it's got a scent to go, and ding, and it goes out of tune, pop, and you've got to start all over again. It goes way too high or whatever. This eliminates that. As you saw for yourself, not one of those did. It was funny, they didn't do it before I installed that either, and right before I started filming video, they were the third, fourth, and fifth were all three doing it. Couldn't get them to do it on video, but anyways, it's strung up. The string butler is installed. So hold on, let's talk about it some more. So here's what it looks like, folks. Probably going to have some people coming up to you and saying, "Yo, dude, what's this thing on your guitar?" But yeah, it's cool. You can show it to them, tell them what it does, what it's for. There you can see how all the strings are lined up straight coming out of the nut. There's no pulling off of the at any certain funky angle or anything like that. And like I said, you can mount it down here. Some guitars you can mount it on the first and sixth strings with the tip pointing down the way I have it here, or pointing up, whichever way. There's so many different ways that you might need this, and so many different ways you can install it and make it work. The string butler, look for links below, go check it out. You probably want to invest in one of these. I'm not going to say how much they are because I'm really not sure. But do check them out. and purchase one. Try it out. No more stringing up, hanging up in the nut. I feel like I have to get down like this to see you. Cheers. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you guys. Happy surprise. Happy late. See you next time. Don't you even think about it, Earl.